Moms always have guilt. We're, always questioning ourselves. And I needed that support system. So I turned to Facebook. Basically, it was history from there. We started with 2 members. We have grown to over 16,000 members today. And I'm looking to grow the group even more and help even more people.
Blows me away. I mean, your story's incredible as is and what you've created. And then you went through this.
My name is Raquelle Akavan. I am originally from New York. I went to PA school at Pace University, Lenox Hill Hospital in Manhattan, which was an awesome experience. Super lucky to go to school in New York City. Ended up working in plastic surgery right after PA school, moved to neurosurgery, and I worked there for a really long time at Jacobi Medical Center in the Bronx. I kind of worked 2 jobs a lot. That's what's so cool about being a PA. There's so much flexibility. And so I worked in plastics at the same time as neurosurgery, and then working as a first assist on Long Island for upper extremity orthopedics. 5 years ago, I moved to Austin, Texas, where I continued being a first assist all around Austin, helping other surgeons. 2 years ago, I transitioned to the director of clinical education at a brand new PA program here at South University, Austin.
Nice.
So I helped develop this program. I have a family, husband, and it's actually our anniversary was yesterday, 12
Happy
years.
anniversary. I saw that.
We've been together for over 20 years. Wow. 2 high school sweethearts. I have 2 kids. I have 8-year-old girl and 5-year-old boy. They're the reasons why I started PA Moms. PA Moms, one of the organizations that I founded or helped found. I started that 7 years ago in 2016, and it started as a Facebook group. Super simple, and I was looking for a place to get support. I was so young. I was one of the first people in my friend group, or especially my PA friend group, who had kids, and I needed advice and support. Kind of similar reason why you're starting to do what you were doing on TikTok, right? People are always looking for support. They're looking for their questions answered. Moms always have guilt. We're, always questioning ourselves, and I needed that support system. So I turned to Facebook. And then it basically was history from there. We started with 2 members and then grew to 3. And then we have grown to, from that 7 years ago, to over 16,000 members today. So it's grown substantially. In 2020, I made the decision to make PA Moms a organization. So not only a Facebook group. The reason for that is because I felt like the group has so many amazing people in it, and we can do so much more with the group to help the community, to help each other, and to help the PA profession. So that's really the reason for becoming like a formal constituent organization affiliated with AAPA. And I'm looking to grow the group even more and help even more people, whether it's helping just PAs in general, our members, and then the broader community as well.
Oh, I love it. Well, I think I've been a member from PA Moms maybe a few years now. I can't believe I didn't know about it before then, but it has changed my life in just that short time. As PAs, we go through job changes frequently. And I recently was a hospitalist at a local hospital here. I was working 10A to 10P. I had just had a second child. So I had 1.5-year-old and a newborn, like a baby, 4 months. I went back and I was pumping and I didn't get to put them to bed. And it was really hard. And so I started interviewing, like, what can I do? My family is top priority, but I love my career. So I'm not going to stop it because I just gone back after being a stay-at-home mom for 2 years during COVID. So I went on PA Moms and I'm like, here are my options. Here's where I have offers. What do you guys think I should do? And oh my God, the responses are so useful. And one of them, was in a psych hospital. And I know nothing about being in a psych hospital. I do the internal medicine there now. So it's still like hospitalist medicine for adolescents, adults, and so on, and addiction. But one of the moms chimed in and she's like, this may just be like the dream job for you. You can get out early. You'll be able to see your kids. It's like, okay, well, because she said that, I'm going to try it out. And she was right. Totally is.
It's so nice to get all the different perspectives perspectives too, right?
Mhm.
Like you probably got like a wide array of perspectives. People have all different kinds of experience. And then we have moms who have been through what you're going through in
Mhm.
real time, right? Like they're all burnt, a lot of them are burnt out. They're
Yeah.
all, trying to breastfeed. It's just so amazing, just like the support you can get on there and just the amazing people you can meet and the connections you can make.
You're a new mom and you're freaking out because your kid's on his like eighth ear infection, which is what I was doing. And they're like, well, let's do tubes. And I'm just like, do I need tubes? So the ENTs make a lot of money on this stuff. Do we really need it? And you get hundreds of responses from moms who have
Mhm.
been through it, moms who work in ENT. Like they are familiar with all of it. And it's so much easier to make a decision when you have all these professional opinions of women in the field. And it's just amazing. And I've seen a lot of posts on there where people are helping traumas, their relative has gone to a specific hospital in a specific city in the US and they log on and say, my dad's been in an accident. He's going to this hospital. Is anyone working right now? And you will get just people chiming in and people who work in
Mhm.
specialties. So that is like incredible. But what you
Yeah.
built there with that, so
There's
cool.
literally like a force behind PA moms that could help so many people, like exactly what you're saying. Everyone wants to help each other. We all come from like all these different backgrounds, different opinions, but we all come together to help each other no matter what and no matter who we are, right? And so that's
Yeah.
like a beautiful thing. And so obviously it's really nice to highlight that too, just to remember that we're all the same kind. You know what I mean? Like we all come
Yeah.
from the same place.
You probably understand that need to like reach more people than just your patients that you can reach every day. And so PA Moms does that, but it's in a private place where you're not going to get the haters or the awful comments that you might get in an open sort of forum. So I think people feel more comfortable speaking up there, which is great, but it'd be nice if, it could have a broader reach like you're planning. So I think that's great
Mhm.
too. I wanted to tell you, I interviewed at Pace, like for the same year that you did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, I did. I'm from Connecticut and I went to Delaware. So I interviewed at Pace for probably starting the same year as your class. But I ended up not going because my family was in Arizona. So I went to Midwestern in Arizona instead.
Oh, cool.
But it's funny because I did hand and plastic surgery right out of school too, like trauma surgery, the chaos of all that, pre-collapse and vascular and being on call,
Mhm.
young and single, and it was amazing. But then switched around and did like I did a full-time job in urgent care, and then I did a part-time like acute rehab, internal medicine stuff. So that is one of the cool things about the PA career that we can switch a lot.
And like and also like you have so much good experience too,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is so cool.
I did an interview at a children's trauma center once, but I'll never forget it. This doctor said to me, looking at your resume, it looks like you have no idea what you want to do and you have not specialized in anything. I just always look back at that and I'm like, I wasn't a one trick pony, if you will. It was like, I have this experience. So when I went into urgent care, I was doing hand surgery and trauma right before that. So anyone who came in with a hand injury or dislocated finger, like I could deal with that. So
Hmm.
that, as a PA, that is one of the coolest things that we can do is switch around.
I know. And it is really valuable too to places like, especially like urgent care, because there's actually an urgent care near here and they never had a PA. And my son, he got a laceration and they were like, no, we don't do sutures. And I was like, but you're in urgent care. But
What?
they only had NPs at the time. And NPs, they can suture, but I guess their NP didn't have experience, so they didn't feel comfortable suturing a child. And so I had to suture him myself because like I just do it myself. Like I could
Oh, I was waiting
be
for you to
okay
say
at
that.
doing
I'm like,
this.
that's hard.
Yeah. And so I have all the stuff here to suture. I was like,
Awesome.
whatever, I'll do it.
Yeah.
No big deal. And I did, and he did great. Poor
Good.
thing. He had to have his
Hard to
mom
hold
suture
down
him.
your own kid. I swear, when anything happens with my kids, it's like, nope, my brain shuts off. I did want to talk about your health story. If you're comfortable talking about it, the stroke, I didn't even know about that until it was posted maybe a year or so ago because you were having other issues with it. So
Yeah.
that like blows me away. Your story's incredible as is and what you've created. And then you went through this
Yeah, I went
and
through like a life, it was seriously life altering in the middle of my career too, which kind of sucked. No matter when it happens, it's not good timing. Don't get
no.
me wrong. I was doing really well as a surgical first assist, PA. I loved my job and it was just boom, right in the middle. There was a car accident. And then after the car accident, I had headaches and stuff, pretty severe pain for me. And it
Yeah.
wasn't caught after the accident. I was having these like severe headaches and mostly in the back of my neck, like here, hair behind my ear. No one, they were just like, it's just, neck strain from the accident. Like, and I'm not the one to like take medicines or anything. And I was like taking medicine around the clock for this pain. And then a week after the accident, all of a sudden I had a left facial droop and all of a sudden got weak on my left side. And so I was like rushed to the hospital and I had a very, very large stroke on my right parietal area. And so that basically like put me out of work for basically a year. It was pretty difficult and very life altering. Obviously, I obviously created PA Moms long before the stroke, but during this time, the time that I had off to recover, I used that time to kind of focus on PA Moms and growing the organization, which is great. So there is a silver lining.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and several other PA moms created a new organization called PAs for Women Empowerment. I'm currently the past president of that one, and there's a whole new team leading PAs for Women Empowerment. They're doing awesome things, so go check them out. And you can become a member of that organization. We have fellow members who are PAs, pre-PA members, and student members. And the cool thing about it is that it's also affiliated with AAPA and it's a caucus. We get a seat. Those members get representation at the AAPA House of Delegates. It's more of an advocacy organization, so we get to advocate for women, whether it's within the profession or through legislation, because it's a nonprofit called a 501c6.
Right.
So we're allowed to actually lobby and advocate for women, which is really cool. So that's why it's different than PA Moms, and that's why it was needed for sure.
What are they working on right now, for example? Like what type of efforts?
So right now they're doing some really cool like community outreach. They're doing a donation drive called Pack the Purse. It basically packs a purse for women in need and gives them like essentials. We are also working on some cool PA week efforts as well are going.
Yeah, it's coming up. I was going to ask you. I always forget the date.
It's October 6th through the 12th.
I mean, so working in the psych facility, I have so many women who are in so bad of need and they have their kids and they give everything to them, but they may have a really traumatic past, like being human trafficked or sexual abuse or not having supportive parents or being homeless. So like what you guys are able to do at that level is amazing because they don't have anybody else. They have nothing else. And just hygiene alone is a major effort for someone who's suffering severe depression, schizophrenia, you name it. So that's awesome. Are you guys doing any kind of support for like women, professional women? And I'm asking because, I have like a dark spot in my career where I was let go at 11 months pregnant after I'd been at a job for 3.5 years and I was running clinics and I was making a very nice salary that was comfortable and I was working my tail off, still pregnant. And I was about to take a 6-week unpaid maternity leave, and to get pulled into the office and I just get told, we can't afford to pay you anymore. That's it. Pack your stuff. Bye. And so, had a lot of anger, but of course I had to let it go because ended up having a kid and COVID and everything else. But I'm just curious because I've heard a lot of stories like that from other women and professional women, PAs, lawyers, you name it. And I don't know if you have any plans in that realm or power even. I don't know where to even start.
Yeah, so that's definitely like a huge interest of mine in just general. PAs for Women Empowerment, definitely. I know they're doing like a whole campaign right now on just breastfeeding rights in just general. So that's part of it, right? Not only is there, discrepancies and things that happen with, pregnancies, but also like harassment. I've seen so many people in the PA Moms group talking about that. And that's something that I'm interested in maybe doing research in the future, because there's been so many accounts of sexual harassment in the PA profession and women affected. And actually, it's really interesting because I wrote like a whole paper on it. A lot of the feedback I got was like, that doesn't happen to PAs because they're mostly women, but that's like so not true.
I have several close friends and colleagues. I know specific instances and scenarios that have years, like they were years ago and they're still happening.
Yeah.
especially in the operating rooms.
And we actually have on our blog, pamoms.com, if you go there,
Mhm.
we do have a story from an anonymous PA mom about her experience with sexual harassment and abuse at work. And so it's like just really, it is very prevalent. The fact that she wanted to share her story is just very brave, obviously, but be elevating these stories and making more awareness of what's happening. So that's part of what PA Moms is going to be doing, is just highlighting stories like this to bring more awareness. There's obviously not enough awareness around it at
No,
all.
and I think people are afraid to speak up. I mean, we went to school for 2.5 years. We spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. Most of us have student loans that we're still paying.
Mm-hmm.
So to try to fight against someone who owns a practice or a management, you're going to lose your job. It's guaranteed. So you have to be willing to lose your job if you want to speak up. And there's a lot of people who aren't in the position to do that. So having that kind of support is awesome, because you don't get it at like an admin level at any job you're working at. And if you make noise, you're probably the first one to go, which is awful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually know a couple of people right now that are dealing with that, being like whistleblowers and then having to get fired after
Yep.
that. There's multiple people in the group.
Yeah.
I just see it all the time because, obviously as moderators, we have a team of 12 and we are the ones approving the posts. So we see everything. We see everything they're posting. I see it at least once a week. I see all of these people posting about these problems. And thank God they're able to get support from PA moms. So that's like the first step, right? We need support and solidarity too. That, this has happened to others. How do we navigate this situation? Obviously, employment lawyers are needed in those situations.
That they're expensive. I mean, I looked into it when I lost my job and I was like, I'm not going to do this right now. I still have a loan to pay off. I have a baby coming. And what the lawyers told me was that, like, you're not going to win. Yeah, just unless you can provide overwhelming evidence that everyone that's ever been pregnant had been let go, you're not going to win. So, I
And then
mean,
just getting away with it. And then that's part of the reason why women aren't able to advance in their careers. Because number one, like you got fired because you were pregnant, but also like people go on maternity leave and then they come back and they're not given the chance to advance because they were away and this is real things that are happening within our profession. So, and it's a real problem.
It's the opposite that I felt after having children, being a stay-at-home mom, and now coming back to my career. I can tell you that I am so much more efficient and effective at my job because of my mom brain. Like, I need to have a million things going at once. And I always say at this point, my job is the easiest part of my life. And I have more time to focus on it now because my brain works in a different way than it did before I had kids.
Not only that, you're more resilient, and also probably women are more emotionally available to patients too sometimes. There's actually research that was done saying that women physicians, they did the research on physicians, of course, that they're, have more patient satisfaction scores better, because I think it's because, we once we become parents, I think it could happen to males as well. I think the research overwhelmingly said that, females had better satisfaction for patients. And I think it's just, we just are emotionally, we grow resilience after becoming moms. And it's just really, really amazing.
Yeah, so it's just wild to think of these places letting women go or not letting their jobs back because they've become a mom. Like, they're much more valuable, arguably. I mean, they could be equally as valuable, but there are different qualities that we have after we have those kiddos. So
Yeah.
it's awesome that you guys are doing that. I can't wait to see like where it goes, because I know it's probably still in its infancy. And what's grown with PA moms, I mean, if it's anything like that, you guys are going to make serious waves.
Yeah. We're actually having our first conference in February of 2024. And so we're growing that way. We want to provide more professional development for our members. We obviously are growing. So we're doing that. So that's like one great thing. We're always growing more partnerships. Right now we have a really big partnership with the University of Lynchburg. Our members get a discount off of tuition. So we're trying to help with their professional development in just general. The PA moms who are members of the group also can get free Category 1 CME from reading posts as well.
Oh, cool. I love that. Fantastic. I mean, I've learned so many things that I apply to practice even because these are professionals, specialists in especially like the derm stuff is so cool. Some of the
Yeah,
derm stuff.
exactly.
Okay, so I know we're at 30 minutes, but I wanted to ask like just a couple more questions.
Hmm.
What's one of the best stories or coolest things you've seen come out of PA moms so far?
Wow. There's so many great stories. We have some of them on our blog. There was one where there was like this full circle story where this PA mom who worked in dermatology, but her brother has Down syndrome, but her mom, unfortunately, her mom was an anesthesiologist and unfortunately died in a car accident
Mm.
years prior. So it was pretty traumatic for her. And her mom would take care of pediatric patients in her
Mhm.
job as an
Mhm.
anesthesiologist. She had a patient come in. The patient was like telling her a story and she had Down syndrome and she was like, "Oh my God, my brother had Down syndrome and my mom was an anesthesiologist and she used to take care of Down syndrome patients."
Mm.
And so, which was the cool thing that was full circle is it ends up that this patient was taken care of by her mother. And they found
Oh
that
wow.
out through their like interaction and encounter. And it was just like a beautiful full circle moment. And her mom had this like really profound impact on the patient's
Oh
life. And so it's
wow.
beautiful. I mean, I'm not telling the story great. Like you need to read it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful
Yeah, no,
story.
I will.
That was great. I mean, we've helped, so many, when I say we, I mean like the group collectively has helped so many PA moms in need
Hmm.
too. We've helped people with cancers. A lot of
Hmm.
the PA moms have colon cancer, unfortunately. The moms, their children have, childhood cancers as well. And we help them in so many different ways, help them financially, but also, just support wise, like sending cards, just for meals even. And people have gotten to know each other and connected through that and supported one another where
I
they wouldn't
love
have
those stories.
done.
I've seen them and I've seen, the
Mhm.
power in numbers of these PA moms just show up.
Yeah, they
Whenever they're
each
called
other.
upon, they all show up. Like you
Mhm.
said before, we all just want to help. And that's all you have to do is ask sort of in this group. I saw a story last week or maybe a week ago. It was a domestic violence situation and she was trying to get away from the abuser. And I was questioning if this was like sort of a scam, right? Like someone asking for something, but I didn't even get to follow it all the way through. But do you remember that one? I think she got help.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that she did get help. Actually, unfortunately, there's been a lot of those lately, which is really
Ugh.
sad. But I believe that whenever there is one like that and it's anonymous, the leadership team will follow up with the person and just make sure they're okay and that they don't need like extra support because it could be a little bit scary when it's anonymous for the members, obviously, because it's a very scary situation.
I saw another story about a mom who was like her eye got injured really badly.
Mhm. Yeah, so she's actually public on Instagram and
Yeah.
she posted a while back in PA
Hmm.
Moms. We did a GoFundMe for her. She unfortunately had a domestic violence situation where her ex-husband now, injured her very severely and she lost her eye. So it's just very unfortunate. And obviously, PA Moms, we banded together and
Yeah,
helped her. But now she's taking this situation and using it for good and to bring
that's
awareness to
amazing.
domestic violence situations. She's overcome quite a bit. Super proud of that PA
Those
mom.
type of stories just stick with you. So I just can't believe what she's doing. And she has two little kiddos too. And
And
she's
now
just,
as a single mom. Yeah.
yeah. And she has this struggle that she's overcoming too. And you just want to do everything you can to help those type of people.
Yeah, and she's so brave to like put it all out there. She's on TikTok and Instagram, and she's
Yeah.
very open about her situation and what happens. And so she's going to be able to reach so many people, like
Yeah.
not even just PA moms who are in the same situation, but also like
Exactly.
other people that are in
Yep.
similar situations and trying to like empower them to do something about it. And she was
Right.
able to, I mean, overcome such a horrific event.
Yeah. What is it?
So,
It's like 1 in 4 women, or maybe more than that, suffer domestic violence, and there's like nowhere for them to go, nowhere for them to speak up. So she's serving that purpose, and that's amazing.
yeah. It's just so difficult.
Here, is there anything that you want to talk about specifically that we didn't talk about yet?
The organization is basically, for all the members, and I really want, obviously, to grow the group now. That's like something that I'm navigating now. I'm like trying to figure out how to do that, trying to lead the group in like a really transparent way, and just trying to grow the organization. And it's been definitely a challenge.
We'll just get the word out there. I mean, Facebook is, there's a lot of people on Facebook, obviously, but there's people all over the social media platforms. So I feel like there's so much more that you can do, this group can do, that's so powerful that the more you grow it, I mean,
it's been a great experience just, volunteering and doing it as volunteer at this point. So,
yeah. So the goals are growth, number one.
yeah.
And then obviously the PAs for women empowerment to grow and support other women in the community.
Yeah. We're PAs for Women Empowerment and PA Moms are separate, but partner organizations, obviously, because we're both women's organizations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the real goal is to grow, but also to continue to make an impact, whether it's just within our community and then also within the PA profession and the broader healthcare community. So the reason why we need to grow so badly, grow our sustainability, is to grow that impact that we're making. And
yeah. I have a feeling you're going to do it pretty quick. I mean, it's so powerful on Facebook right now. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
Thank you for having me here. It was great speaking to you. I'm really excited about what you're doing too. It's so fun. I love watching you on Instagram and TikTok.
Oh, it's so fun. I'm just so happy to meet you in person. I've been following you for so long and I just love everything you're doing. So
thank you.